think I dropped off where I was talking about my time at Southern Connecticut State University, and um, ultimately knowing that position was gonna, or I needed to move on to that from that position at one point. I started reaching out to a lot of people. I started attending a lot of seminars within grad school. Um, so I attended a seminar where an HR rep from an agency called the Octagon, based in Stamford, Connecticut. He was there, so I reached out to him, did some research on the company, and ultimately he was able to give me an interview for an internship, part of their trainee program there, which led to a full-time job for me at Octagon. I spent about 2 years at Octagon working on BMW account, so I was able to get a good perspective on the world of sponsorship in sports and how that plays a key role in a lot of huge corporate companies and organizations in the professional field. Um, I spent a little over 2 years there, and then I applied for a job at the New York Yankees and got a little bit lucky, to be honest with you. I was able to get an interview and ultimately land a job. At the time, it was a lateral move for me. Um, I was doing similar things in terms of my role and my title. But I think that the biggest thing that came from moving to the Yankees and making that jump, it landed me a job where I was able to progress and move forward. Um, I got a really big break. My boss at the time when I started ended up leaving the organization, and I was able to move up the ladder fairly quickly, and I proved myself pretty quickly within the organization. Was able to get the manager role. Um, why I chose the sports industry? Well, I think I always thought I would work in sports. I think that was something that I always wanted to do. Um, and I had a passion for sports. I had a drive for sports. But once I got into the industry, I learned that a lot of it is it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of dedication. It's putting time and effort in, and I really enjoy the business of sports. I enjoy the ins and outs of the business and how sports kind of brings to life a different experience for fans and people, and that's what I really enjoy about it. That's what I've learned over the years, that it has the ability to give fans the opportunity to express themselves, enjoy something outside of their normal lives, and I enjoy bringing that to life. I love the experiential part of the business, and that's a big part of my job, and has been since I started in the industry. And so for me, that's what I enjoy most, and why I ultimately chose it. I think bringing things to life from a sports business perspective is really interesting, and how fans and people interact with the games that they love, from a business and analytics side is incredibly interesting from my point of view, and ultimately is why I'm here. Some advice I would give kind of the next generation coming up that wants to work in sports. I think be open to a bunch of different things. There's a lot of different avenues you can take in sports, whether it's college athletics, whether it's an agency, whether it's professional setting or a league setting. All three things that I've done, and three things that have kind of led me on the path of where I am today. Don't pigeonhole yourself right off the bat. You may think you want to do one thing, but when you start doing that, you may find a different avenue that you want to go down. And I think it's important to stay open, especially at the beginning of your career. Don't be afraid to try things, reach out to people, network. Ultimately, I think most of my jobs and most of why I am where I am today is because I reached out to people, and I took informative interviews. I networked. I went to networking events, and I did a lot of research on different companies. And I think at the end of the day, the more people you meet, the better off you'll be, and the more opportunities you'll get. And when you get those opportunities, work hard. I know that's a cliche, but the harder you work, I think, some of those breaks that I got, were a little bit lucky, but I think you create your own luck, especially in this business, if you work really hard and dedicate your time. So be open, work really hard. Don't be afraid to reach out to people and get some advice. And ultimately, be ready for that opportunity when it comes. You may only get a few opportunities, and you got to take advantage of those. So be prepared, and do your research.